And in the last few moments, we've just had a statement from the Foreign Office telling us that the Foreign Secretary, William Hague, has spoken today to the Chief Minister of Gibraltar, Fabian Picardo, and reiterated the UK's commitment to the people of Gibraltar. Mr Hague said, "I emphasised to Chief Minister Fabian Picardo that the UK stands shoulder to shoulder with the people of Gibraltar at this time of increasing Spanish pressure and rhetoric. I also highlighted that we'll respect Gibraltar's 2006 constitution and the commitments the UK has repeatedly made not to compromise on British sovereignty over Gibraltar." We discussed the need for a political solution to the current tension with Spain, which would be firmly in the interests of communities on both sides of Gibraltar's border with Spain. And William Hague also calling on Spain to avoid actions which could increase tension further. So that statement just coming in from the Foreign Office. Well, I'm joined now over the internet from Gibraltar by Leo Olivero, a journalist on the newspaper there, Panorama. Thank you very much indeed for taking the time to talk to us. So is there a bit of a siege mentality at the moment there, or is that a little bit too strong?
Not really a siege mentality, because we're used to the actions, the actions by the Spanish government. The only thing that's happened now is that it's gone up quite a few notches. It's quite serious. There are a lot of people concerned on both sides of the border, and what we would like is that on the British government on one side to take firmer action, and the EU to take a real interest in Gibraltar and not leave us alone.
I hope you were able to hear that statement that I just read out before the interview from William Hague.
Yes, but we've heard all those words many times over the years, and those words are really wearing very, very thin now. And it's not only the people of Gibraltar who are asking for more firm action from the UK government. It is British ministers at Westminster and also their own ministers in Brussels. So it's not just us here. We want more action from the British government. We want to see a visible Royal Navy presence, and not the one we have at the moment, because these threats from Spain, although you said in your report that it is only threats at the moment, we don't know if how far these threats are going to be carried.
Don't you think that sort of action?
All we have is concerns from the British government. We're concerned.
Don't you think that sort of action, though, that you're saying Gibraltarians would like to see, would really just up the ante, when some politicians are suggesting this is simply saber rattling by Spain and an attempt to distract from other domestic problems in Spain?
Well, that may be the case, and personally, I suspect there is an element of that. But when we have the Spanish paramilitary forces invading our waters every day, and the Royal Detachment, the small Royal Navy detachment we have here in Gibraltar, are unable to do nothing because the rules of engagement that the British government impose on the Navy here doesn't allow them to do anything, only call out to them on the radio, and it's the Spanish forces of the Spanish police or customs officer it's a mockery of the whole situation. They're just making this is a joke for them, really.
It's clear that the majority of Gibraltarians very much think of themselves as British, but how big a part of your life is Spain and being able to access it freely? I'm talking, of course, about this proposal from Spain for some sort of border levy, even though that's probably quite possibly illegal under European law. How big a part of Gibraltarian life is the ability to be able to access Spain?
Well, it's let's put it this way: not everybody crosses over the border, and there's a lot of people stay in Gibraltar. There's a good majority of people that like to socialise and go to Spain. A lot of people live in Spain, but it's like any border. I would like for English people if they couldn't go over to Scotland, for example.
It's important though for the
life. There's a lot of cultural attachments. But this is not the case here. Or the point.
It's important, though, on a practical level, isn't it, for fresh food and produce, etc.
As an EU member state should be treated.
I was just making the point, though, that it's really important, isn't it, surely, for fresh produce, fresh food getting into Gibraltar?
Yes, that's another element to it. There again, you see, you're talking now about a close frontier situation, and if you talk in the context of the EU, we shouldn't even be talking about that, because that shouldn't even happen. But if it does happen, Gibraltar is quite well known for being very resolute, and I'm sure we'll get our produce and we won't starve.
Leo Olivero, a journalist at the Gibraltarian paper Panorama. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.